get the call from the Masked Singer. This time you say, okay, I think I can do it this time around. What happens next?
Well, they give you some costume options.
Right.
All which are wild, you know. It's like either you can be a crab, a chicken leg, or a, you know. Listen, I love the show. I love the experience. I loved, you know, the before and the after of it. But that crab head was some seriously heavy rubber.
In our ears, for those of us who can't sing and aren't as musical as you, we hear Samantha Barks, we hear yourself, we are blown away. But for somebody who can sing, what does she sound like in your ears?
In my head, I was like, is her costume as heavy as mine? Because she sounds perfect. In college, how do I go to my mother and say, you know, Mom, I think I want to, you know, have quite a few years of poverty and you know, make up songs and maybe sing on the corner and, you know. But it was her really on her deathbed who said to me, Gregory, don't forget about your music. It's the best thing you do. And that gave me a license and in a way some authority to follow music, because I was trying to tell her, I was like, Mom, I'm gonna be a regular guy. I'm not gonna get in any trouble. Don't worry about me. You did a good job raising me.
Nice.
And she was like, baby, take the risky route.
Baby.
And that's what I did.
Okay, Vassos, let's continue this Masked Singer, a magnificent Masked Singer celebration. Here we're sitting on Monday. Another series, The Masked Singer, is done and dusted. We all had a collective cry, please, no, don't go. Our favourite show. The family love it. Our living room was full. We had 9 kids watching it. We didn't watch it on Saturday, we watched it yesterday afternoon, and they couldn't have been happier with the outcome. The quality was off the chain, and we have some of that quality in the studio now.
Our next guest is the legendary silken-voiced singer-songwriter who's won 2 Grammys and almost won The Masked Singer. He's fresh from his dressed crab costume.
So funny. That's so funny. Won 2 Grammys and almost won The Masked. That's hilarious.
He's fresh from his dressed crab costume and planning a UK tour in April. And fact is, we're all a supporter of Gregory Porter.
Come on, let's hear it. Gregory, how you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great.
Oh my gosh.
But fresh from the crab suit. Coming out of that crab suit, you're not exactly fresh.
I know, and it was a crab to start with. Well, congratulations, well done. What fun you had. Here's a question. My wife said, it's not Gregory Porter. Gregory Porter wouldn't do The Masked Singer. Now, I know what she means, but I don't know what she means. You must have had a lot of that, mustn't you?
Yes. You know, people, they have an idea who they think I am. That I don't know why they think I don't like to have fun.
Yeah, I think it's not really about you. It's about The Masked Singer, but it's from people who don't watch it. People think, oh, why would you go on The Masked Singer? It's for Z-listers or whatever. But it's just not, is it? It's not like that. Because you had Andrea Corr, you had Macy Gray, you got yourself, you got Samantha, who won, of course.
Yeah. No, it was, and it was just it was a lot of fun, and they had been asking me for a few years to do it, and I tour quite a bit, and I couldn't do it, but I had a break in the schedule, and it worked, and it was really quite an experience.
So it wasn't that it was a hard no, and they softened you up. It would have always been a yes. You were just too busy. Of course. They have The Masked Singer in America as well, don't
yes,
they?
Yes, they do.
Have you been on the US version?
I have not been on the US
All right.
version.
But are you a fan of the show anyway, as a viewer?
I am. Well, you know, even if you just catch a glimpse of it, it's just like, whoa, what is this? I always thought I knew what I would do in that situation.
Oh, this is good.
And I totally got it wrong, because there's certain things you know. I just thought the costumes were like made out of just some foam, and you could move around and dance around, and it would be just so easy. And I just thought, oh, maybe they'll just want a couple of hours a week, you know.
Yeah.
It's all consuming. You become your character, and your character is not to be known or talked to. So it's like, wait a minute. So this experience of performing and not being able to touch people or look people or have them know who you are was really something for me. Which says to me, I like, I need to have connection with the people that I'm singing with, you know? So it's really something, yeah.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's not just the fact you're on stage and you're singing and people can't see you, and that's interesting because that's like being at a fancy dress party because you can sort of play with who you are because nobody knows it's you and you don't know who you're talking to. So it's that times 1,000.
Yeah.
And then what you're not ready for, and I've heard this from a few people, and Dan, the producer of the show, is this immersion, this sort of showbiz solitary confinement, if you like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that sort of hits you over the head.
Yeah.
And after an hour you think, oh, this is different.
Now, that lasts not only at the studio, at the hotel, in the car, in the way you talk to your family. What are you doing? I'm just, I'm just here doing some stuff,
Are you having an affair? No, I promise. Well, what are you doing? I can't tell you. Then you're having an affair. You must be having an affair. And who did you tell? Who did you let into your circle of trust?
Well, I had to tell my children, but just my manager. Yeah, that I didn't tell anybody.
Because Danny Jones, who won last year, he didn't tell his kids. So that when they were watching at home, he used to watch it every week with them, knowing that he was Piranha.
Yeah.
And then when he won, he was still watching at home. And have you seen the video of it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? It's so good.
Yeah.
We hear these stories about these hoodies that say "Don't talk to me" on them.
Yes.
Is that true?
It is. I have a couple of those. Yeah. And now when I'm at home and I don't want to be bothered by, so the kids will see me and don't talk to me. They're like, they don't care anyway. But
and it's all live, isn't it? Because the quality of the vocal without the mic, and it's a stage mic, isn't it? A sort of musical theatre mic. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely live. It's television, so I was thinking, oh, they must do a little manipulation. They must, surely I'll have 7 opportunities to do these songs, and they're like, nope, this is show business. Bam. Be
take.
Magical.
Regardless, it's one take.
Yeah, for me, that's all it was.
Well, you only need one take. You barely need one take at all. It's so fascinating. So get the call from the Masked Singer. This time you say, okay, I think I can do it this time around. What happens next?
Well, they give you some costume options. All which are wild, It's like either you can be a crab, a chicken leg, or a, just think of your wildest, or a pair of glasses, just your wildest imagination. Bam.
Well, the air fryer was on stage last night, wasn't the air fryer Piranha from past series gone by? And they're supposed to pertain to you a bit. They're supposed to be a vague clue, aren't they, to who you might be?
Yeah, potentially.
Go figure.
We do put crab in a seafood soup that I like, gumbo.
Yeah.
But
apart from that,
yeah.
and so were you offered chicken leg? That was a genuine offer to you, chicken leg costume? Or?
I don't know why I have it in my head, but I'll say yes.
All right.
Yeah. But normally in life I don't pass up a chicken leg.
Of course. Why would you? Yeah, or a big ham. And so you're singing in a costume for the first time.
Yeah.
Is it different? How is it different?
Well, I'll have to say, listen, I love the show. I love the experience. I loved, the before and the after of it. But that crab head was some seriously heavy rubber, and it was intense. It was intense. So the moments before and after I sang, they were like fanning a little air into, to help me get a little oxygen in that bad boy.
Yeah.
So that was necessary. Obviously the crab head, the crab claws, and this massively giant festive dress that I was wearing.
By the way, he's crab clawing now as he's speaking to us. You can't stop. Once a crab, always a crab. Giving it all this is what he's actually. That joke, you know that joke? And then Gregory Porter came in giving it all this.
But all in all,
yes.
I'm always just so happy just to share, if it is a gift that I have in music.
It's a gift.
wrapped and guys in a crab head and claws.
Yeah.
I'm still able to share this gift and make people feel something with the music. And they were like, disguise your voice. And I would try. I was like, oh, give me the beat, boy, feed my soul. I would try to disguise my voice, but I was, but Gregory kept coming out,
Yeah.
So.
I could, when you were doing the chats, in between the songs, you could even hear Gregory in the chats.
Right.
And that's hard to hear because they use the vocoder and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you care about winning?
After a while, I actually, yes.
Good for
yes.
you. Well done for being honest. Round of applause for being honest. No, I didn't mind about winning.
Yeah, I wanted to win.
Yeah.
It would have been right up there with the Grammy. Why not?
That's so funny that you won the 2 Grammys and came second in the Masked Singer. But of course, you were beaten by as good as it gets. I mean, you are as good as it gets. It was the best final ever. I mean, poor Marty Pello, who would have won any other series, he's up against Samantha Parks and Gregory Porter. Well, good luck out there, Marty, with your lovers all around. Wow.
Yeah.
And when the final, if people haven't watched, just watch the final. Watch with your kids. It's half term. If you have a sort of quiet afternoon this week, watch it on ITVX. Catch up. But the duets that you do in the final.
Yeah.
So the people you're singing with don't know it's you. How is that? How does that work at rehearsal? Do you have a lighter mask, or are you behind a curtain, or what?
No, you have this screen that you wear over your face.
Right.
And I had this. I had the regular hoodie, but I had another. Like trench coat hoodie,
Right?
That you really couldn't tell, and we were going to sing, and she was like, "Man, that's a rich voice."
So she didn't know it was you. And how close are you to the person you see? Because you can see them because they're past winners or past contestants, aren't they?
You don't see them until you get on stage and you're fully adorned in your costume.
Wow.
And so. But it was really...
The world of the Masked Singer is a crazy world, isn't it? It's a bit psychedelic, isn't it, in a way?
It is. It is super strange. And I'm not... It's not a cult, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm saying...
It's not a cult, but...
You walk into these darkened room with this hoodie on, and it's just like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's very Obi-Wan Kenobi, isn't it?
Yeah. But magical, yeah.
Yeah, and the atmosphere in the studio, it seems great. Joel is great. Joel was on the show last week. I love Joel Dommett.
Yeah.
He's such a cool guy. And he sang as well. He sang at the beginning of the show, didn't he? And he was high-fiving people. So you're on tour. Will Dress Crab make an appearance on tour?
Well, maybe some of the songs that I did in the show will make an appearance.
Right.
I'll have to talk to the producers. Maybe they, let me borrow that crab head or at least the claws.
Well, we have the festival. We have Carfest, and Ricky Wilson, who was runner-up, wasn't he? I think he was runner-up. He was Phoenix, and he performed at Carfest in front of 90,000 people as Phoenix. So,
okay.
So it can be done, Gregory.
Okay. Well, you invite me to that. And
oh, no, you're done. You're done. Whenever you want. I mean, our mutual friend Johnny...
I'm a card guy, too,
Oh, my God. Well, then you are booked, my friend. But you are going to tour April, and here we go. We're looking at 22nd of April, Brighton, and on from there in April, Symphony Hall, Birmingham, and then a couple of dates at Birmingham, Leeds, then you land in London, 4 dates at the Royal Albert Hall, 28th, 29th, 1st of May and 2nd of May, and then Manchester, Glasgow, Newcastle upon Tyne, Bournemouth and Cardiff. GregoryPorter.com for tickets. They let slip during the Masked Singer yesterday when we watched it, the final, it was on Saturday night originally, that you were an NFL kid.
No. Well, I played football.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
yes, I played football.
Sorry, not NFL, but you know what I
mean.
Yeah,
football.
You were trying to be a professional footballer.
Yes.
So first of all, you have the build. Did you have what it took? Did you have enough talent?
I felt like I had the size and the speed, but my shoulders didn't agree with me. And, after an injury, quite frankly, had I not injured myself playing football, I wouldn't have found my way to music.
Isn't
like
it crazy?
I did. It was a strange left turn, and it was a moment of sadness about it. But then when music came, and it was a real solace in terms of realizing I wasn't an athlete anymore.
How old were you when you sustained the injury?
I was 21. Yeah.
Oh right, so you're pretty much along the road there.
Yeah.
And how high did you get to?
Well, every college player thinks they're going to make it.
So you were college, proper college.
Yeah.
First team.
Yes. So everybody thinks that they're going to make it and be, to the NFL, and that's what I believed.
Right.
And I think I had the talent, but it really is a tough shot. But I found myself in the right place.
The stars have got to line for anything to be any good.
Yeah.
And talent doesn't go anywhere by itself.
Yeah.
We know that for a fact. And sometimes it's what you do. So you can have a little bit of talent, or what is the headline talent, but your real talent is knowing what to do with it. Blah, blah, blah. My fascination to that realization yesterday when they said it was, my word. And I'm even more fascinated now that you told me you got to 21 before you concentrated on music. Yeah. Did you not? You must have been the only person in the world who didn't realize how good your voice was to think, I'll do football instead.
No, well, this is the thing. The immediacy of the of sports was something that was very tangible in my mind.
Yes.
I didn't know anybody who had a music career. I'd been singing pretty good since I was 6 years old, and lots of pats on the head. Oh, good job, Gregory. But really, how do I make a living at this thing? How in college, how do I go to my mother and say, Mom, I think I want to, have quite a few years of poverty and make up songs and maybe sing on the corner and
meet the right person in the right place at the right time.
Right. And so, but it was her really on her deathbed who said to me, Gregory, don't forget about your music.
How old were you then?
All of this happened in that same year.
Right.
I was 21 when she passed away. She said, Gregory, don't forget about your music. It's the best thing you do. And don't forget about it. And that gave me a license and in a way some authority to follow music, because I was trying to tell her, I was like, Mom, I'm gonna be a regular guy. I'm not gonna get in any trouble. Don't worry about me. You did a good job raising me.
Nice.
And she was like, baby, take the risky route.
Baby.
And that's what I did.
Big baby.
Yeah.
Really big line back baby here is what we're talking about. I can only presume that you were getting pats on the head at the age of 6 and on from there for your singing, because you're surrounded by other great singers. I bet that was the context of your upbringing.
Yeah, we had, there's 8 of us in the family, 5 boys and 3 girls.
If you'd have been in our family, we would have noticed that you were really good at singing. It's a different kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, my family used to tell me to shut up all the time because I was singing with the radio. Yeah, and they were like, "Shut up! We don't want to hear you. We want to hear Michael Jackson, not you."
What kind of tunes were you singing along to?
I was everything, anything, any Motown thing, any funk, anything. It wasn't all what'll I do when you? It was she's a brick. And I own a house.
Come on.
She's mighty, mighty. No.
Do you take a band with you on tour? Because you don't need one.
Just hand claps.
Yeah, hand clapping. Did you like Lou Rawls?
Loved Lou Rawls.
I love Lou Rawls.
Yeah.
You ever see Lou Rawls live?
I never saw him. No, never saw him.
I saw him at the
live.
Dominion Theatre one night.
Wow.
In London, and it was one of the greatest nights. He had a very similar voice to yours. He used to just open his mouth, and it's not. I know it's not effortless, but it seemed effortless.
Yeah.
And it was very gentle. He was very relaxed, but the voice was big, and it was like not dissimilar. She's got a fine brown frame, but
you'll never find. I love him. And really
groovy people.
Yeah. Well, he was so much of a part of like my household in terms of the music that we would listen to on Saturday and cleaning the house, that I felt like he was an uncle. And,
nice.
And, you get to an age, I was like, oh, Lou Rawls is not my uncle?
Well, he should be. No, toilet rolls are your business. Go and clean the loo. So has it changed in The Masked Singer at all?
Has it changed me?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I would have to say this it may seem like an insignificant thing, this separation and this, the being cloaked, in this disguise and being separated from your audience in a way. It may seem like some small thing, but I was just a couple of nights ago at the Carnegie Hall in New York, and I was just so appreciative of seeing and touching the people with my music and and seeing their faces so it's changed me in the way of just the appreciation.
You've reappreciated your voice.
Reappreciate my voice and reappreciate this synergy that happens. I don't like that separation. I think even if I ever stop, making records, if I'm still in music, I would still love the live performance, because this connection that you have with people is super important to me. Yeah.
It's so not insignificant in my ears and eyes, because I completely get it. In as much as when you're at Carnegie Hall, it's the Valentine's Day concert, I presume you're referring to, which you do every year.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Valentine's Day. It's what you do. Gregory Porter is what people is the name that people pay to go and see. So you had them at the ticket sale.
Mm-hmm.
But of course here you don't, and it's that's the difference, isn't it? The difference is it is the magic of your voice from deep within, and them not knowing who you are. So you can't sort of pre-buy any of their affection.
Right.
With your aura, with your renown, with your 2 Grammys, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's almost like back to square one.
Yeah, there you go.
And just talking about it is giving me goosebumps, because it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is magical in a way.
And reassuring.
Yeah, that maybe I do belong, yeah.
Oh, it's mad. It's crazy, isn't it? How crazy is the fact that you still feel like that, and I totally 100% get it. Tilly was at your Valentine's Day concert at Carnegie Hall last year.
Okay, fantastic.
Which is so strange.
Fantastic.
Isn't it?
Wow.
What are the chances? Tell us, what are the chances? What else is going on, Gregory? Why are you here?
Well, UK is my second home, and really I'm just buttering people up for my tour that's coming up.
Well, consider us buttered. No more butter required.
Lashings of butter and cream.
Yes, baby. Just a quick word about Samantha Barks.
Oh, man. The interesting thing is you don't get to see any of the people that you're performing with. So I had no idea. The only thing I knew is, like, in the distance, I would hear these extraordinary sounds coming out of this girl. And I was like, ooh, I don't know who that is, but it's something special. So, well, I mean, the sky is the limit for all of these great voices that we hear and that we heard. So, yeah, she's extraordinary.
In our ears, for those of us who can't sing and aren't as musical as you, we hear Samantha Barks, we hear yourself, we are blown away. But for somebody who can sing, what does she sound like in your ears?
For me, I was like, ooh, I just felt like, that's an absolutely trained and God-given and natural gift. That just the way that she, in my head, I was like, is her costume as heavy as mine? Because she sounds perfect.
You can't blame it on the costume.
If you go back to that first show, I would say, you go back to that first show, listen, I'm breaking up those phrases to catch a breath underneath that thing. I was like, what was the song? Lean on me if you're not.
And that was lack of oxygen and weight of the whole thing.
Yeah, it was the lack of oxygen and the weight of the thing. They corrected it. They gave me some more air holes in the back of my head.
Isn't it?
The Krabby needed a few more air holes.
You don't want Gregory Porter dying on television for the sake of your silly, amazing
And I thought about this.
Show.
I said, what if I faint on live television? It would make for great television, but it'd be bad for me.
Be good on social media for a while, I suppose. But it's funny, isn't it? Because in football terms, you'd be match fit. You weren't crab fit. You had to get crab fit.
And it got better.
Yeah,
after,
exactly. You became crab fit.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
Let me tell you how my. I love my dear manager, but he's like, yeah,
but he's fired.
It'd just be, it's just a few days, it's like 3 or 4 days.
Yes.
The whole thing is like months.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's months to do this thing.
Yeah.
But I figured that out once I got into it, and it was a real pleasure to do. And I made just great friends.
Yeah, of course. For life friends.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Gregory is touring the UK, which means we're all lucky enough to be able to buy tickets to go and see him. GregoryPorter.com. Tickets available now. GregoryPorter.com. You will never, ever have a night of music like it. You may have nights as good, very rarely, I would suggest, but you'll never have a night like an evening with Gregory Porter because he is on a different level. April, 22nd of April, we begin in Brighton. We go to Birmingham twice and then Leeds, London 4 times, Royal Albert Hall, 28th, 29th of April, 1st and 2nd of May, and then it's Manchester, Glasgow, Newcastle upon Tyne, Bournemouth and Cardiff. Other dates may be added. You're very welcome to join us at Carfest. I would love that, Gregory. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about cars off the air. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear
Real
it.
pleasure.
Gregory Porter. Dress Carrot Crab has been in the house. All right.